All right.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
What is happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. This is Fight Talk with the BMAs. It's G-Man out here in Singapore, and I got Slick and in the UK, and we are going to be talking about my guy's getting healthy with his banana, man, getting that potassium in. And we're going to be talking about UFC 279, Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. What a crazy week. What a crazy card. What a crazy fight. Everything was awesome. This week was mad. But as crazy as it all turned out to be, it worked out amazingly for everyone. Like when I say for everyone, I mean as a fan, and you know me, I'm always the guy who loves the legends. I hate seeing legends go out bad, and I didn't want to see anything bad happen to Nate Diaz.
Me
Go out
neither.
in any way. I get upset when like Jose Aldo loses or Anderson
I
Silva.
feel
When
you.
Anderson Silva went
I
out,
feel
that
you.
was my heart. That one hurt me the most because he was my favorite growing up, and I didn't want to see that happening to Nate. And that's what it looked like it was
Same.
gonna happen. I mean, I know everyone was just counting Nate out a little bit, but you know, fucking, I'm glad it all worked out the way it did. And man, he went out on top. It's hard to see Tony lose as well because I like Tony, but damn,
Same.
that was good. I'm glad it just worked out the way it was, man. So the main event, obviously,
I
as
agree.
everyone knows, comes out was supposed to fight Nate Diaz. There was a
Yeah.
brawl. Freaking, he didn't make weight. There was a brawl at the conference, the press conference.
What a
That
mess.
fucked up everything. So no conference. Then he didn't make. My guy didn't make weight. So they changed up the fight card, and it actually was more exciting. I have to say, man. Kevin Holland versus Kamza was even more exciting. But let's talk about the main fight, man. Let's talk about Nate Diaz and the legend that he is, and the legacy that he's left behind. Whether he comes back or not, my guy's left a legacy, and he's just chilled. That's why he's such a fan favorite, man. Because it's like. He's just doing it. It's just Nate, isn't it? What do you think of that fight, man? I think, you know what? I think there was so much respect between them. I didn't even see a Stockton slap in there. He didn't even throw the slap.
So much. There was too much respect in that fight. I felt like, I mean, even when I recorded earlier, I'll say it again. I felt like you could really see their age in that fight. They were fighting. Maybe it's the respect, or maybe it's because they just didn't plan for each other. Yeah, because Nate's talking about wrestling the whole camp. Maybe they, I don't know, but it just seemed like they were moving real slow, you know. And I like yourself and like many others, I'm so glad that it ended up how it was, because it probably would have been quite nasty if it was.
Definitely. I agree. I mean, those two, it fitted so well with those two, and you know, Diaz just coming on top. But yeah, I think they were just they're old school, man, and like they're old school, and even like you know some of the way that. Yeah, exactly. The way Tony, I mean, the way Tony was kind of turning to some of their attacks. I mean, he's always awkward anyway, but it just felt like they
didn't look right.
It didn't look right, yeah, but they fit in well. It was just a great fight because it's between those two. Do you know what I mean? If it was Nate and Kamza, or even Li Jingliang versus Tony, I think it wouldn't have gone good. Like those two, it just worked out so good that those two fought and they were both on that level. And it worked out wicked, man. It was a great fight, man. I genuinely enjoyed the fight.
I did as well. I thought it was really fun to finally see them, you know, scrap after all these years. It's just a shame we couldn't get to see them at their peak, you know, when they were really, really on form and Ferguson was tearing through and he was undefeated and Nate was doing what he was doing. But anyway, besides that, like you said, we got a great spectacle. The fans enjoyed it. And that's it. Like, everybody wins in a sense, right?
Yeah, that's it, man. What do you think? So what do you think Diaz is on, man? Because he's saying that he's gonna go out, do the other sports and do it better. Do you think he's gonna do like a Jake Paul thing, just make bare money and all that sort of stuff?
I heard that he opened up his fight promotion, like Mr. Eagle. And I don't know if that means he's gonna fight on it too. I don't know, like, but that's what I heard. There's even a name for it. I forgot it, Fight Incorporated or something really simple.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, he even dropped the nugget that he might return one day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's not
to go and fight Conor, right?
Yeah, he's not open to fighting, coming back to the UFC. So
that's how he put it.
And at the end of the day, he still said thank you to UFC, Dana White, you know, all them lot. So
Peter.
So man. So again, there's a mutual respect there. Yeah. And it's good to see that. It's good to see it because Diaz is fucking awesome. It's a shame that, of course, there's new superstars coming, but it's a shame that we're seeing the old ones go. But that's just the way that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
there's no ways about it. Like even the guys who are catching them on their heels, they're not that younger than them, but they're just faster. They're just they're just modernized. They're just so keep it separate, man. you know,
yeah, yeah. But
keep it separate.
Diaz
If you're gonna
also.
fight at the majors, they need to pick smart fights for them.
I say, my coach Eddie, he always says this. He goes, MMA is one of those sports where
Mm.
age is definitely a factor because the older
Mm-hmm.
you get, the less explosive you can
Mm-hmm.
be. And with MMA,
Yeah.
you gotta be explosive. Like it's really an
Yeah.
explosive game. Unless you
Absolutely.
can somehow close the distance and grapple, then you don't need the much explosive. But the distance in MMA that you have to keep and then explode in is literally a young man's game. And we'll talk about how the
Absolutely.
explosion happened with the comes up. But real quick before we get to him, what do you think about Tony, man? He obviously went up to welterweight,
I
and we
feel like
saw
he
the
did
way
some
he
time,
looked.
man.
Yeah, like because
I feel
if
like it.
that happened with Nate Diaz, and I know it wasn't scheduled, but I really think like Li
Yeah.
Jinyan and the bigger guys would just piece him up at
It
that
would have been
division.
done. It would have been done.
Yeah,
It would have been
I feel
done. It
I
would have
feel
been
like
that would
he
have
should
been
definitely.
sad. Sorry, go on.
No,
He should
I
definitely
agree.
quit.
I think he should either retire or maybe just go back to 155 because in 155 when he fought Chandler, he was fucking doing good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That
I
first
just
round he was doing very well.
yeah, I just think at welterweight, like the way he looked against Diaz, he just didn't look. I was like, shit, if you can't do anything against Diaz, then what are you gonna do against like a Kobe or Usman or fucking Hamza? You know what I'm saying?
That's a scary thought in itself. But you know what? Maybe hypothetically, he did get knocked out like supremely. Like he's gonna fight differently. He's gonna be different, right? He looked different. He looked like the way that somebody who got knocked out would be. Like you see, he was overextending of his punches and everything was just like not set up as a normal Tony. We both said he seemed different. Who knows what's going on there? But it's not right. He's not right.
Yeah, his coaches were. You can hear them saying, "Don't overextend, don't overextend." He was doing a lot of
He
that.
did a lot. He did a lot.
Yeah,
It's never Tony. Never, never Tony. If he does it, he's gonna ankle pick you or some madness.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's crazy
and roll
how.
into it.
Yeah, like the Imanari role and whatnot. At
Minari,
least,
yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
madman.
Well, he got submitted. I mean, Diaz went out with the submission. It's freaking like it's awesome, man. I mean, it just worked out so good for him. I'm just happy because it was like almost doomed for him to go out in a bad way. And I'm just happy it went out, it worked out, and he just went out in a good way. So another legend gone, but maybe come back in the future. But let's move on,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
Freaking hell. So the
Oh
co-main
yeah.
event.
Quick thing, right? Sorry to cut. Quick thing. John Jones was incorrect with his prediction because he said everybody who cusses him out ends up losing in their fight. John Jones, nope.
Who cussed him out? What do you mean?
So because Nate Diaz said that John Jones could not be a GOAT because of the PEDs and etc. Right? And then John Jones put on Twitter that everybody who cusses him out before they fight ends up losing. Right? So he said, "Watch yourself." And I'm saying, well, nope.
In this case, not only did he win, the whole universe turned around for him to win. Like, do you know what I mean? Because if it was against Kamzat, let's be real. If it was against Kamzat, he would have lost. But the whole universe, the fight universe, turned around for him to actually go out on top. How crazy is that?
When you look at it that way, he definitely smiled upon the Buddha.
So crazy, man. Well, look, let's talk about the co-main event because that was super
Yes.
exciting as well. And I agree with you. I found that way more exciting than Kamzat versus Nate. Kamzat versus Holland, Kevin Holland is a way more exciting fight. Them two being at it from the beginning. They went at it at the press conference, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It just made more sense. Two young guys, and holy shit, Kamzat does it again. My guy does another fight, the fourth fight where he doesn't take a single strike. Not even one strike in that fight. How crazy was that? How fast was that shot when he took it? I mean, people are saying that Kevin Holland came out to touch gloves, but he didn't give a shit. He went straight for he shot for him. That was a wicked scramble, but boy, he kept it on him, and that DAS was just on. And he just kept on adjusting. I was just thinking to myself, if Kevin Holland gets out of this, how fucking tired is Khamzat going to be? Because he exploded for 2.5 minutes.
Absolutely.
Get that, and he done everything to win. But that doesn't even matter. My guy did end up submitting him. Another fight, fourth fight, and against Kevin Holland, who ain't no freaking joke. He didn't take a single strike. That's scary, man. He's gone. I know in the Burns one, people humanized him, but now he's fucking scary again because not even a single strike. He's quite. I mean, and he is taking on the bad guy role because he missed weight. Everyone was booing him, and he was just like, "Fuck you, lot! I kill everyone." Allahu Akbar. I don't know why he falls in the Allahu Akbar. I'm like, bro, don't do that, man. Don't say that. And when Khabib. Listen, when Khabib's like, Alhamdulillah, and then he speaks all humble, I'm like, yeah, cool. But don't be like, I'm going to kill everyone. Allahu Akbar. It don't go good, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
That's a bad cocktail, man. It's a very bad cocktail. But yeah, yeah, no, he definitely really went for him immediately, and he had to finish that fight early because you could see him like taking deep breaths while he was in it. Like he was, whether it was going to be his grip strength that ran out or his actual stamina ran out overall, something would have peaked if it would have stayed 2-3 rounds at that rate. So yeah, I mean, he didn't even give him a chance. Like he gave him no time. Like what's the name? He gave him none. So we didn't even really get to see him challenge, unfortunately. Against Holland, but whatever. That's just what he brings to the table when he's smart. He uses wrestling. He didn't try and fight him like Gilbert Burns and appease the fans. Because, I mean, this is what he said. He said he heard the fans and he was like, yeah, and then went Hulk mode. He didn't need to do that. He did what he used the tools that he is effective with against somebody who's vastly inferior in wrestling. Done. Efficient.
That's it. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, okay, look, man, he smashed it. Obviously, he's a fucking beast. Regardless if he lost weight, missed weight and whatnot, he has made 170 before. Maybe this was just a bad weight cut and he fucked up and he'll do better next time, whatever. But can he do that again? Can he do that and that kind of explosiveness against a Kamaru Usman, against a Colby Covington, whose forte is wrestling? You know what I mean? Because yeah, there'll be a massive scramble, 2.5 minutes. Like, are you gonna be gassed the fuck out to go for the rest of the fight? Like, how would that look against somewhat like one of them guys whose wrestling's their forte? That would be interesting.
I mean, I already called it out. I think he needs to fight Colby next. I think he needs to let all this stuff die down. Like, all of this drama that came up. Like, it's not a good look for the UFC, is it? We've already had all this stuff going on and like outside altercation. It's just not good. So I think if anything, he should the UFC should probably give him Colby. And then there's no way, no how that he's not worthy of fighting for the belt next. No way. No. Yeah. By that time, probably Usman would have fought Leon for the third fight, and then we would have an New or and still. And then that'll be that.
They could do it on the same card. I mean, it was just like 2 weeks ago. So they could just do that on the same card, man.
I mean, like, we know none of them's going to be fighting this year anyway, so it's a good idea.
I mean, but listen, man. I mean, look, listen. Bilal Muhammad is up there as well in that division.
Yes, and, that's a good point.
So he's up there, so you could always put him against Khamzat. But I think Khamzat versus Colby just makes sense. I mean,
it's way more nicer.
You know me, bro. I'm a fan. But I always like the humble guys and whatnot. And Khamzat, he's doing like what Conor does. Like, he is very bad guy-ish, but then at the end he shows all the respect as well. Like, he's like, listen, he was saying Kevin Holland's a tough guy. I know we had our problems, but he can come to the gym and we can train together. We fought, now it's done.
That's nice.
So I like that. McGregor used to do that stuff as well. So I like that part. And even when they were asking him, like, what's he want to do next? Someone mentioned Robert Whittaker's name. He goes, I don't want to fight Robert Whittaker. He's a nice guy, very humble guy. I would love to train with him instead of fighting him. I want to fight a bad guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he said that. He goes, I'd rather fight a bad guy. Give me a bad guy, one of them bad guys. I'll fight one of them guys. And I was like, again, I didn't lose. He didn't lose me as a fan, but I was kind of like, well, I see you cooking your chicken and whatnot. He didn't lose me as a fan, but I was like, all these antics, you're kind of like.
You wasn't a fan?
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the antics. But anyway, I'm still a fan of him.
I know. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, so I just think that if he does fight someone, give him a Paulo Costa in middleweight or give him a Colby Covington at welterweight.
Oh, Paulo Costa would be very fun. Oh, that one makes me dribble.
Man, I mean, Polo's a big dude, so if he can go against him and put him out, boy, that's danger. He's
That
statement.
that would for sure. I think as like a super, maybe a super fight or just a what if fight. I think that would do any day, all day. You
Hey,
know,
he goes up to middleweight, man. So if he
he
wanted to,
does.
like, so he could do it. Like,
Ah,
yo,
they could just beef and just be like, yo,
and technically he didn't make
Hunter
this
Campbell.
weight. He didn't make this
Mhm.
weight, and Dana did make a comment saying that, well, we're just gonna have to make him fight at middleweight. But I reckon he'll go back down to 170. But end of the day, middleweight's
As in the
there.
end.
So, you know,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, because he's happy to flip between the two. So if there's room, take it. It's yours.
that's it, man. That's it. Well, look, man,
Take it.
Kamza again has shown how much of a beast he is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy, man. Fourth fight didn't take another strike. I mean, the Gilbert Burns one, he went for it back and forth. But again,
Yeah,
he just
yeah,
got straight back to what he started off
yeah,
at in the UFC and just
yeah.
hasn't taken a strike. That was
Man,
mad. That was
man,
scary shit.
that was extremely. I feel like, I mean, there's many highlights in that fight, but my last point on that one was when he caught him when in the scramble, right? Let him roll at one point, let go of that, then jumped over and then caught him in the darts.
So
While he
good.
was scrambling. I thought that was so sophisticated.
So awesome. Like the great thing is as well,
Boy,
like when you when you do jiu-jitsu and wrestling and whatnot, and you see that scramble, you could see the technicalities of it rather than two people just flipping and flopping and whatnot. You know what I'm trying to
yeah,
say? You can
yeah,
see the
yeah, yeah,
distribution of weight and where they're trying to jump to and where they're trying to connect the arms and trying to put their weight on
yeah.
them and whatnot. It's so awesome. It's like again, it's high level grappling. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like when they like, because I don't know if casuals will see the high level of weight distribution and just scramble. Like, I know scramble just sounds like you're scrambling, like you're just fucking in, like, but there's so much technicality to it, which is awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh man, absolutely. And let's not forget Kevin Holland. He's improved so much in his wrestling defense.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, you got to give it to him. Yeah,
so much, so much. I think if he was the same wrestler that he was at when he first kind of came in and he was getting pieced up on the ground and thrown about, he wouldn't have lasted that long,
yeah.
right?
It's true. Yeah, the first shot would have just done it.
Done. Oh shit, done. So yeah, hats off to him
Yeah,
for
man. And
improving
listen,
that.
that guy, he don't lose no stock because he's just gonna fight the next dude
Nope.
on the table. He don't give a shit. He'll probably
Oh
fight
yeah.
next week. So he don't
Oh
lose no
yeah.
stock anyway. And I reckon maybe him and Comes Up might fight again in the future, but at least they got their fight out of the way finally. I mean, like UFC smashed it with the way they turned it around with this one because it just worked out so much better. But they got their fight out of the way.
Yeah, it's true. So at least then the next one will be a whole different energy. But yeah, I look forward to it. I
That's
look
it,
forward to
man.
it. Maybe by then
Well,
Hamza will be champion. Who knows?
you never know, bro. You never know. All right, the next one was Li Jingliang versus Daniel Rodriguez. Now, I think Li Jingliang, and I think a lot of people are saying this, he got the short end of the stick out of this whole thing. My guy, he weighed in for a welterweight match. The Daniel Rodriguez was gonna fight Kevin Holland at some catchweight anyway, and then
Right, right,
and
right.
then he lost this decision, which I think a lot of people are saying that they didn't see Li Jingliang losing. And he's such a nice
I
dude, man. If you see him in the interviews and whatnot, he's such a humble dude, man. I love that dude. I like his attitude, man.
Yeah, no, I got nothing else but nice things to say about him. I don't know him personally, obviously, but he just seems like somebody that is very respectful and an honorable martial artist. So, I'm sure he's not going to kick up a fuss to say anything about all of this. He just take it in stride. But yeah, he did kind of get bummed because I thought he was doing really well in that fight.
I think a lot of people thought he actually won that fight. It was a split decision,
Yeah,
which would made it even crazier. But I think he was winning.
for he
But
won that.
what a
He has
beast.
very similar. Go on.
I think a lot of people, I mean, people are saying actually, but you got to give it to him, man, because he saved the card as well by moving around and taking on
By
Daniel
allowing it, yeah,
Rodriguez and the
yeah,
weight
yeah,
difference and because he was cutting weight to be 170 and he ended up like fighting, like the different weight class and all that sort of
catch
stuff.
weight.
So you got to give it to him, man. He was a big part of making this card happen and
The
being
shuffle.
flexible. Yeah, man. What a cool fucking dude, man. What an awesome guy. What a beast. And he put on a great fight
He's
as
a
well.
he did. He's a He's a good old sport, as they say. I think I remember watching the beginning of the fight, and he kind of reminded me of Colby. The way that he was kind of moving like a snake with his hands and everything. Like he
Mm.
did it a couple of times. It wasn't always for the fight, but it did kind of remind me of Colby when I saw that. You know, where he was like sticking his hand, almost like Tommy Hearn, like
Right.
low,
He's a
like
good boxer,
kind
man.
of.
He's a good boxer. He
Yeah,
had
he
like
is.
good head movement. Like he
He
slipped a
does.
lot of those jabs nicely,
He
man. He had a good head movement.
mm, that was nice. Like he's improving as well. Like I've seen different kind of versions of him throughout the years, and he's now someone I actually look at. You know, like actually, oh, you know what, he's fighting. Let me catch that. Whereas before, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of his stock goes down, and I hope the UFC hooked him up because it was a bit bad that he lost in that fight.
yeah,
Because
they should
obviously,
have niced him.
I hope they hooked him up with some extra cash or bonus or something. But I don't know. I mean, I don't run the
Mm,
business and shit. But that would be fucked up if he
yeah,
didn't, because he was a big part of just being flexible and taking on whatever fight
yeah,
and allowing.
for
Think about
sure.
it, bro. The top 3 fights were rescheduled. It wasn't just like 2 fights. All
Yeah,
3 of the
yeah,
fights, top 3 were
monumental.
yeah, man. All 3 of them was
Reshuffled.
rescheduled between each other. So
Yeah,
that just worked out so good, because normally it might be one fight or someone just comes in. The top 3
yeah.
fights got
It's
reshuffled.
unheard of. Unheard of. Like
Crazy.
in every single manner of it, it is unheard of. It's never been done before in that short space of time, and it's never been done before with that many fights at the the main event also switching. That's
That's it.
two
On the
records
last day, on the last freaking day as
on
well.
24 hours of time. Yeah,
Well,
that's
this is
2 records.
Well, this is what
History.
you gotta like, what made me think about how far ahead they think of when they're scheduling these cards. So it's not just, oh yeah, just put these people,
Mm,
like they like the way they put the certain fighters who kind of fit within the same weight category. Like it's very smart the way they do these smart fight cards, because it's like, all right, they got backups. If
backups.
something goes wrong, we can
Backups.
reshuffle.
Yeah.
And I find that
Mm.
like, I mean, I don't know nothing about it, but just after seeing this, it makes you respect the fact what they do in that war
The
room that Dana
craft.
White has, and
Yeah,
they figure
yeah,
out the
yeah.
card. It's not just, oh, this guy hasn't fought for 3 months, so put him on there. It's really
Mm.
strategic in the way they put the fight card together and to back it up as well. So I give him a lot of credit for that. That's fucking amazing.
It was that's great management to get it all done so neat and tidy, so that we could all enjoy it, and everybody. I mean, it's probably even sold even more because of what I had done. So not only was it marketing genius, but it was also like amazing last minute people management. You know, it's incredible.
That's what I was saying. That's what I love about the UFC, man. I mean, I guess I'm being biased because it's the sport that I enjoy and the organization I enjoy, but so fucking good that they can change the whole card around, and I could be even more excited for the fight. So I'm that was freaking awesome, man. But moving on real quick on the rest of the fight. So you got Irene Aldana versus Macy Chiasson or something. But
I
did you see
I
the
didn't even see
finish,
that one.
bro? She
No, she kind of laid there back with
No,
her.
she up kicked her. She was on so Irina was on her back. She up kicked her in her liver. So her heel kicked Macy's liver
Oh, that's
and
I
shut her down.
heard it.
It was the first time that happened, but it was
Ah,
really something. Like she opened up a new,
that's what it was.
how do you pull it, man? You know when people go
Genre,
for
like a genre of
yeah, when
hmm?
people go for up kicks, they normally go for the face and
Go for
whatnot.
the
But
face. Yeah,
this could
yeah,
open
yeah.
up a new technique, man. Go for the liver, go for the body. Like use your
Uh,
heel to dig it into the body or the solar plexus or the liver. That could open up a little something for the up kicks, man. That was pretty awesome.
Jeez, yeah. That of all the things to happen, I didn't see how it led up to it. I just saw the woman on the floor just barely responding, and the referee went over to her, and then that was because I think I skipped past that fight. So, and then they said something about liver, and I'm thinking, what? Up kick to the okay.
I think everyone was so shocked, including Irina. Like they were like, "What the hell happened?" I think I heard the
Yeah.
ref say, "What hurts?" And she goes, "My liver, my stomach,
Right.
whatever."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think everyone was just like, "What the fuck just happened?" And then you just realize, holy
Uh,
shit, that was a legit strike that took her down. Like that was awesome.
she hit her with the dim muck. Just poop, poop.
Straight up, boy. Straight up. That was awesome. I mean, I don't know if she said that she practices them to me. I don't know if she specifically did, or maybe she was just throwing up kicks and it hit the liver. But now it could be something specific where people could be like, all
Could
right,
be
you
for
don't
sure
have to go for an up kick to the face. Try hitting the
to the
liver, try hitting
face.
the body. which would be awesome. All
A new
right, and then
thing.
the first card on that fight, the first fight on the card, Johnny Walker versus Ion Chatalaba.
Yes,
Bro,
yes,
Johnny Walker back on the winning
yes.
circle.
Yeah, finally, finally. He's he's in the right place. I think he's gonna do some good things with SBG if he stays the course, fights how he fights not normally. That's crazy, but fights smart. He might have a decent career in UFC.
Maybe I mean when he first came in and he was going crazy, it actually kind of worked in his
Wild.
favor. It did work in his
It did.
favor, and then it slowed down. Obviously, he got the injury on his shoulder. He done the worm and he hurt himself. And then he went to SPG,
Right.
and then he did
Epic
slow
fail.
down. They calmed him down a lot, but he did lose a
They
few
did.
fights.
He yeah, he did. He did. I mean, I'm just saying. Hopefully, moving forward, they figured out something because you're right. He did. Those things did happen. I don't know if he changed his style because he injured himself. He couldn't do so. I don't know what happened there, but whatever it is, I hope he figures it out because I always thought he was really interesting. We've always spoken about him, and I was always intrigued to see if he would ever fight John Jones with his style clashing together, and it never happened. So, anyway, I just hope that he can, get it together and keep performing.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I mean, let's see how it goes. And that young guy, he's very Hulk, right? He's very angry. Every way in, everything.
Very,
He
very
just
tense,
uses that anger,
intense.
yeah, to thing. And
Yeah, very, very intense.
yeah, I guess it didn't
Very,
work
very
out this
intense.
time.
Nah,
I didn't see much of the prelims, to be honest with you. I don't know if you got a
I
chance
did
to see
not.
any of them.
No, I didn't see anything. I'm probably gonna watch them later. My friend comes over.
All right,
Oh,
cool.
oh yes, we did it. Yeah, no, no, I haven't seen any of it. No, I
All
don't know
right,
about the
cool.
name this time around.
Well, we could go through maybe that next time or whatnot. But yeah, but overall fun card, bro. Next week we got another nice fight card. We
Ooh.
got Corey Sandhagen versus Yadong Song.
Oh,
And then you got that
oh,
Giga Chakazi, who's an awesome,
Chikazi. Yeah,
yeah, he's freaking
yeah,
awesome
he's a
kickboxer
kickboxer,
versus
no?
Sadiq Yusuf.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's a good
right,
fight.
right, right. Yes,
Also,
yes,
we
yes. That'd
didn't
be all right.
that'll be UFC next week, so at least we got something. We did not talk about Silva versus Jake Paul happening in October, bro.
Oh man,
Listen, bro,
I
I know
let's
Silva's
hear your
old
top
and all
take.
this sort of stuff, but if Jake Paul
Right.
wins, you have to give it to him. Because Silva, I know he's old, all this sort of stuff. Okay. But it's Silva still got skills as a boxer. He beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's still got skills. And at least he's not lighter than Jake Paul at the same sort of weight. Silva's done 205 before or whatnot. Silva's got the boxing skills, like amazing boxing skills. He's not just any MMA fighter. He's a legit legendary striker MMA fighter, and also at a point where he was going to fight Roy Jones, or they were trying to make that happen. It may never happen, but I think,
Oh
listen, man,
yeah.
I think you got to give it. I give it to Jake Paul. If he wins, you got to give it to him. And just for taking this fight, you got to give it to him. But of course, I want Anderson Silva to win. But I mean, I would cry if he loses against Jake Paul. I don't want to see that, especially if he gets knocked out. I do not want to see that. But what do you think about that?
I was quite shocked actually when I heard it was going to be announced. But I always knew it was possible to happen. And there's actually a video out there of Anderson explaining maybe his kind of point of view or whatever it is about it. I haven't heard it. I will listen to it soon. But I just hope that nobody gets hurt, basically. And yeah, I will give it to what's the name, to Jake Paul if he does win. I mean, but at the same time, like he's fighting someone not in their prime. Like we talk about the power, you know. The obviously there's a lot more tools to worry about in MMA in regard to boxing, but there's still that explosiveness. Not saying Anderson doesn't have it, but Jake's already shown that he's got hands, he's got speed, he's got intelligence. He's
Mm.
taken out some guys. So I already give respect to Jake anyway. I think I don't want this fight to happen for the same reasons we don't like seeing Aldo fight and get beat up, or Tony, or Nate, or Anderson Silva. So um, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's a weird one to do, but I hope Anderson can do it in a weird way.
I mean, look, of course, boxing. Listen, man. Who was it? But Bernard Hopkins, he fought up to 50. You know what I mean? I'm not Anderson Silva's no Bernard Hopkins. I mean, listen, boxing is of course, Silva's got the skill set. Don't get me wrong. Bernard Hopkins is a proper boxer and he's been doing his whole life. So there's a different level. However, he done up to 50. And I think in boxing, like Mayweather, you know, he was able to do it
longer.
There's a different, MMA is just a bit different, right? The distance is different, the
Yeah.
start and the tools and everything. So MMA explosion is very different to boxing, I think, right?
Got you.
And I think as you get older, you can still manage boxing a little bit. You don't need to explode in and out that much. You can stay in the pocket a little bit and move the head and, you know, slip and bob and weave and whatnot. And Anderson's always known for that. So I think, honestly, I think he's got, you know, Anderson could do it, man. Honestly, I really believe that he'll fuck him up. I really think he will technically fuck him up. And Jake Paul's really, I give him credit for it, man. Jake Paul's got a proper boxing fight ahead of him. I know, like, if he wins, people are going to start making up excuses, and there are excuses, but like, I'll give it to him, man. And if he loses, then it's meant to be, because it's Anderson fucking Silva, man. But stripes for him for fighting him, man.
Good point. Very good point about the types of, you know, the type of situations that you're being to be in from American boxing, for sure. It is different. Like I said, about the tools, the leg kicks and so on. But I don't know. I mean, like with these events now, like with UFC and MMA in general, like anything can happen. Any kind of, you know, look at Tyron Woodley, you know. I didn't expect it to happen. Did you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tyron Woodley, I mean, man, he's no boxer like Anderson Silva. Like, he could have done MMA. In MMA, I reckon he could have done, because he maybe would have thrown a leg kick. Maybe he would have, you know, maybe he would have faked the takedown and then threw a crazy overhand, right? But in just pure boxing, I didn't think that he was. I mean, I thought maybe he could win, but I didn't think he could. It's not Anderson Silva, man. His boxing skills is not on the same level as someone like Anderson Silva, which makes it super exciting, man. Yeah,
absolutely. My point was more the fact that anything can happen. The fact that this, like, crossing over with different sports, different techniques and styles. I'm just saying that the unexpected is even more so to happen. I do believe that Anderson could do it. Of course, I'm just saying that, you know, we've seen that Jake is no slouch and he's no stranger to boxing. That's what I'm saying. He's a real threat. He's a real threat.
If he connects, he can definitely knock out Silva.
Yeah.
I mean, Silva been knocked. I mean, look, I know in his last fight with Uriah Hall, he didn't get knocked out, but it wasn't knocked out cold. It's like a TKO, wasn't it? Right? Wasn't it a TKO?
I mean, he got injured. Didn't he get injured? Like he injured something again.
No, I think Uriah Hall TKO'd him. Weidman, he got knocked out cold. That was obviously the one. That. But outside of that, I don't think he got knocked out cold. Obviously, he broke his leg, but I think the rest of them were like TKOs and stuff like that, or end decision.
You're right. You know,
I think, of course, man, if that kid connects, he's gonna knock him out. But I think it's gonna be hard to connect to Silva, even though he's 50 years old. It will be hard because it's not just the movement that Silva has; it's the attack and the offense that Silva will have as well. Like,
and the traps that he steps up.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a high level fighter, man. I'm actually genuinely excited, but I really want Silva to win. I'll be gutted if he loses. But on the flip side, I hope I'm pretty sure he will. I hope he's getting paid big time to do this.
Right. Yeah. Same. I mean, I definitely believe Silva's capable of doing it, and I too look forward to it. I'm just a bit indifferent initially, but when I think about it, and now that we've spoken about it, I feel like it's actually not that bad. You know,
he's gonna do the thing, man. He's gonna do it. Cool, man. Well, it was. I'm glad we got a chance to catch up. This was an exciting one. You enjoy your chicken, and we will catch up hopefully next week on next week's fight card, which should be another fun one for us to enjoy and talk about. And until then, well, take it easy. Have a good week, everyone else. Thank you for watching. Last week we got a lot of views on last week's one, so thank you everyone for watching and subscribing and showing the support. We got nearly like 100 views, and for us on our little channel, that's a lot. That speaks a lot. So that was pretty awesome. So stripes, everyone, appreciate the support. Please do like, subscribe, comment, all that other shit. And we'll catch you next week. All right, peace.
Most importantly, make sure you guys eat.
Eat that chicken. All right.